Hello students, now we'll move on to arrays and pointers, right? So before moving on to how to declare a pointer to an array, we need to know some of the terminologies used in array, right? So the array name is a pointer constant, right? So the array name itself is going to have the address. So it cannot be used as an L value. I'll tell you what is that L value. That means you cannot use it on the left hand side in an expression, right? Now when you take here, both array and ampersand array would give the base address of the array, right? That means if I simply specify the array as it is, and if I use ampersand array, both will give me the base address of the array. So already we know that array name itself will act as an address. That is the meaning of this. So the array name itself is going to act as an address, and the ampersand array will also give you the address of the array, right? So int main is a small program to explain what that a and ampersand a refers, right? So int main, int a of 5, I have declared an integer array of 5 elements of size 5, right? Now printf %u, already I told you the %u means it will print the address in a decimal format. %p means it will print the address in a hexadecimal format, right? So comma a. A means just an array name. The array name itself is going to print the address. And I can also have ampersand. Ampersand a of 0. The first element is going to have the starting address. So ampersand a of 0 also refers to the starting address, right? So if I want to have a pointer for an array, right? If array name itself is going to contain the address, why I need a pointer? That we'll see later on. What is the difference between the array and the pointer, right? Now we'll see some of the terms here, right? Ampersand a of 0, that means what? A of 0 refers to the first element in the array. So ampersand a of 0 means it's the starting address of the array. That can be written as directly a. A also means the starting address of the array, or else I can also write it as ampersand a of 0, right? Now if I write ampersand a of I, this refers to what? This refers to the address of the ith element present in the array A, right? And this can be written as just a plus I, right? So with the base address A, I am going to add my I value. Here adding the I value doesn't just add the I value here. Suppose my I value equal to 3, and if it is going to be an integer array, 3 into 2, 6. Or if the integer occupies 4 bytes, then 3 into 4, 12 will be added with the base address. Because integer occupies how many bytes? 4 bytes, right? So 3, I value 3 means 3 into 4, 12. That 12 will be added with the base address to find out my third element. Is that clear? So a of a plus I means it's not I'm going to add plus 3 to the base address, right? So internally it represents what? The index value into the size of the type, right? Now a of I refers to what? Generally if you want to refer the ith element present in an array, then you will write a of I. Now in pointer if you want to access, you can use it as what? Star a plus I. So star refers to the value where the pointer is now pointing to. Pointer is now pointing to what location? A plus I. That refers to a of I, right? And here ampersand a of I minus ampersand a of j is equal to I minus j, right? That means the address of ith element minus the address of the jth element is nothing but what? I minus j, right? Now we'll see how to declare an array and how to assign a pointer to an array, right? So very simple. So int a of 10 is an integer array. Int star p is a pointer of type integer. Now I am giving a equal to p. So I am assigning the array to the pointer p. right? Now P of I is same as what? I can write it as star P of I. Already we have seen those things, right? So I can write it as P of I, or else I can also write I of P or star P of I, whatever it may be, right? Now this is what given here. P equal to A. The base address is being assigned to the pointer value, or else I can also write it as P is equal to ampersand A of 0. In that case, address of the first element is assigned to the pointer value, right? If I want, I can also assign this address to my pointer value. In that case, I will write it as what? P is equal to A plus 2. Or else I can write it as P equal to ampersand A of 2. But here 2 is not just been added. Here it is what? 2 into the size of the integer will be added to get my next location. Is that clear? Right. So how to declare a array name itself is going to act as an that itself will give you the address, right? So I can represent the address of the array directly by specifying the name of the array, or else I can also use ampersand, right? Both going to represent the same thing. So these are the things that I can use it in an array, right? So ampersand A of 0 is nothing but my A. So whenever I am assigning the address to the pointer, either I can use ampersand A of 0 or else I can just use A, right? Ampersand A of I. What is the meaning of this? Address of the ith element present in an array. So for this I can directly write it as A plus I. Here we are not going to just add I. Here it is going to be multiplied with the size of that particular type, right? That will be added to the base address A. Now A of I refers to the element that is present in an array, ith element present in an array. If I want to refer the particular element, then I have to use star in case of my pointer. So star, I have to write what? A plus I. So A plus I moves to that ith element present in an array. In that I am going to access the value. So this star refers to what? Indirection operator or dereference operator, right? Right. So here how I'm going to assign an array to a pointer. So here A is an array. I'm just assigning A equal to P, right? Now, if array name itself is going to have the address, everything I can do it with an array, then why I need a separate pointer to an array? I can use the array name itself as a pointer and then I can manipulate, right? But there are some differences between your array name and the pointer, right? Now let us see what are all the differences you have got between the array and the pointer. Array name. Why I cannot use the array name itself to manipulate every time, right? Instead of using the pointers, right? Now when the memory is being allotted for the array, the starting address is going to be fixed for the array. I cannot change the starting address of the array, right? And once if I have, for example, if I have, I cannot use it as an L value. That means what? In the L value means it is going to be on the left hand side of the expression. Then I cannot write A is equal to A plus 1. A is an array, right? So A of I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is an elements present in an integer array A. Now using the for loop, I cannot write star A equal to 1 and I cannot do A equal to A plus 1. But this I can do it with the help of my pointers, right? But I cannot do it with the help of with the array name itself. And I cannot do B equal to A. I cannot assign the array directly to array B. But I can do it with the help of my pointers. Is that clear? So these are differences between your array name and pointer. Even though array name represents the address, I can manipulate the elements by using array name. I need a separate pointer for doing all these operations because array name cannot be used as an L value. I cannot write A is equal to A plus 1. Is that clear? But now when you see here, I can do it with my pointer. Int star P1, int star P2, right? I can also have like this star P equal to 0. Here I have assigned the A to P. I have assigned the array to P, base address to the pointer value, and then for each element I am assigning 0. Right? So A of 5, for all the 5 elements I am assigning 0, and I am moving on to the next element. We have already seen star P refers to what? The value where the pointer is pointing to. And P++ means it automatically moves to the next location. Here, since it is an integer array, it moves 4 bytes to find out my next element, right, in an array. But this I cannot do it with the help of my array name. And here I can also assign one pointer to another pointer, whereas this is not possible by simply with the help of your array names, right? And moreover, the next difference is if I have ampersand, right? If I use ampersand on array, it will give you the address. For example, A is also going to give you the address of the array. Ampersand A of 0 is also going to give you the address of the array, and ampersand A is also going to give you the start address of the array, right? But if I use ampersand with my pointers, right? So now what happens? If you see here, A array is being assigned to pointer. Now if I use ampersand P, then ampersand P refers to what? Address where this pointer variable is stored. Is that clear? So ampersand P will not give you the address of the array. Instead of that, it will only tell you where the pointer is being stored. Right? That is a difference, another difference. The next difference is when I use size of operator on array. If I use size of A, where A is going to be an integer array, I have got 5 elements. So what is my size of A will give you 5 into 4, that is going to be 20 bytes. But if I use size of P, even though P is containing the base address of array, P is now pointing to array, the size of pointer variable is always going to be only 4 bytes. Yesterday we have seen, right? So the size of the pointer variable is always going to be only 4 bytes. Right? So that is a differences. So what are all the differences you have got? Why I need a pointer? Why we should have a pointer to an array? Even though array name itself is going to have the address of the array, and I can manipulate all the elements like this, why I need a separate pointer? Why? Because these are all the differences you have. What are all the differences you have? Array name cannot be used as an L value in an assignment. For example, I cannot use star A and I cannot use A is equal to A plus 1 to access my next element in an array. But that I can do it with my pointer value. I can access the element through my pointer, and I can move to the next element in the array with the help of my pointer, and I can also assign one pointer to another pointer. So here address of A is given to P1. Now P1 I am going to give it to P2. Right? So now this P2 I can assign it for another array. So this array can be, now both A and B will be pointing to the same location. B will also have the same values. Right? Now if I use ampersand on array, it is going to give you the address of the array. But if I use ampersand on pointer, it will give you where the address where the pointer is stored, not the address of the array. Right? And the next difference you have is size of operator. If I use size of operator on array, it will give you the size of the entire array. But if I use size of operator on pointer, it is going to give you only the 4 bytes. Is that clear? So these are the differences between your array and pointer. Now we'll see the program, then you can clearly understand how to declare a pointer to an array and how to access the array elements. Right? Now, write a program to display an array of given numbers. So I have an array. In that array I have some elements. Now I am going to display all the given elements, right? So hash include stdio.h int main. Then I've declared an integer array int a of 20, right? N comma I. This is for number of elements and this is for the loop variable I. And I have a pointer of type integer. To this pointer I am assigning the array name. Here I need not use ampersand a because a also refers to the base address of the array, right? Now I am asking the user to enter the number of elements. Read the number of elements n, and printf enter the elements of the array. Now I am going to read element by element. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So for n elements I am going to read the value, right? Now here I am going to read the value with the help of my pointer. So I need not write ampersand a of 0. Ampersand a of 0 is nothing but what? Where the pointer is now pointing to, right? Right. So I am reading the value indirectly with the help of my pointer. And then ptr plus plus. ptr plus plus means what did I told you? It is nothing but it is going to move to the next element in an array, right? So ptr plus plus means it automatically moves to the next element, and that address will be there where I am going to read my second element. Like this I am going to continue for n elements. Is that clear? So again I am making sure that ptr is now pointing to the beginning of the array, right? And then I am going to display the elements, displaying the elements, right? So for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. And here how to print the value? If I use star, then it means it refers to the value, right? So star ptr, and I need to move to the next element present in an array. So for that again I have to use ptr plus plus, then return 0, right? So I am reading indirectly with the help of my pointer, and similarly I am printing the array elements through the indirection operator, right? Now the next program, write a program to find the mean of n numbers, right? So mean and average both are going to be the same thing, right? So now here we'll see int main, right? And here int star p n sum is equal to 0, right? So float average, right? So now printf enter the number of numbers. Now when you see here, I have not declared a of I have not declared an array, right? But I am going to read n numbers and I am going to find out the mean. Let us see how to do it, right? So enter the number of numbers. I am reading the number of numbers n, and p equal to int star. Now this is a new function. What is this function called as? M stands for memory. Alloc means memory allocation. So here I am going to dynamically allocate the memory. So how many bytes I am going to allocate? That is being given within the parenthesis here. So n, the number of elements I have read, into, since it is going to be an integer, I have used the size to be 4. So n into 4. This many bytes, consecutive bytes, I am going to allocate, right? And whatever the memory allocated, that is going to be of void. That is not going to be the specific type, right? So here we are making the memory allocated of type integer, right? So int star. So here we are converting that memory to of type integer, and that address we are giving it to a pointer value p, right? So the beginning address will be given to p. So it is like an array, but here it is what dynamically allocated. So here I am not wasting the memory. Int a of 100, but here if I specify the n value to be 10, remaining 90 elements I am going to waste it, right? So here how many elements I want? Only that number of memory locations I am going to create, right? Whenever you are using the malloc, you need to have a condition whether the memory has been successfully allocated or not. So if p is equal to null, already I told you null is nothing but a zero value. It is not going to contain any address. So if p is equal to null, then it is unsuccessful memory allocation. So I should exit with by specifying the value 1. 1 means error status. So I will exit the program by passing the value 1. Else, right, automatically it comes here. For int I is equal to 0, I less than n. So for n elements, I am going to read the value. So printf enter number, I am using the scanf, right? So scanf %d p plus I. Instead of specifying ampersand, I have used p plus I. So first time I equal to 0. So I am reading the first element. Next time p plus 1. P plus 1 means it automatically moves to the next integer value, right? So it moves 4 bytes to move to the next integer number, right? Now again by reading the values, I am going to calculate my sum also. So sum is equal to sum plus star of p plus I. Why I have written star here? Because to access the element that is present in this particular location, I need to use a star value. So star of p plus I. Whatever the value I have stored in this location, I need to access it. So for that we have a dereference operator or indirect reference operator. So we use a star here. So star p plus I. So initially sum is 0, 0 plus. If I type 10, so 0 plus 10, 10 will be stored in sum. Again I am going to read my next value. Again 10 plus star of that particular value. So after calculating the sum, I can easily calculate my average. So here I need to convert it to a float because sum and n are going to be integers. So I am typecasting it and I am converting it to a float. I am storing it in a variable called average. And then I am printing the average, right? Only difference here you have is you have malloc. Malloc means some memory allocation used to dynamically allocate a memory. And whatever the memory that has been created, it will be in a sequentially allocated memory. And here depending upon the type, if I want float, then I have to convert it float star, right? So since we want an integer type of memory, we have written int star, and here the pointer is also going to be of type int star. If I use float star here, then the pointer should be of float star. So whatever the memory that is being allocated, that is going to be of type void. So you have to typecast and then only you have to assign it to a pointer variable, right? Now we'll move on to our next program. Write a program to count the number of vowels in the given string, right? So till now we have seen related to an array, right? And already I told you the array name and the pointer and how we need to allocate. So just we have to declare an array. Array name itself can be assigned to a pointer variable, right? And we have seen how to move to the next element, all the other things. So string is also nothing but an character array. So the string name itself is going to act as will have the base address, right? So now we'll see how to manipulate the pointers for the character array or for a string, right? So int main, here I have declared an character array char str of 80. Char star ptr. Instead of int star ptr, we have used here char star ptr. And here I am going to count the number of vowels. So here int v count equal to 0. Vowel count equal to 0. And printf enter the string. I'm going to read the string. I can read the string with the spaces in between. So I have used getS of str. Whatever the string I am reading, I am going to store it in str. Now p equal to str. See how we have assigned the integer array to p. In the same way, character array can be assigned to p, right? So now while we already know the string will be terminated with a null character, that is used to check the end of the character array or for a string, right? So while star p, while star p is not equal to null, till that I have to proceed. So what I am going to do, I am going to read character by character and I am going to check whether it is going to equal to a, e, I, o, u, or it is going to be a small a, e, I, o, u. If it is going to be a, e, I, o, u, then I need to increment my vowel count, because vowels are going to be a, e, I, o, u. Either it can be in capital letters or it can be in small letters, right? Generally you will use what? CH. Right? CH of I is not equal to null, and then you will increment I plus plus, right, to move on to the next character. So here we have used what? Star P. That's all. So star P refers to the element that is being present in an array, right? Then P plus plus. P plus plus means it automatically moves to the next element. I have to continue this till I reach the null value, till I reach the end of the string, right? Once I reach the end of the string, then I can print my vowel count. Is that clear? So same like how you do with your integer array, we have used our character array. Instead of int star ptr, we have used char star ptr. That is the only difference you have, right? And the next program is write a program to accept a string using pointers and print all the characters given the starting and ending characters. So here I am going to accept an entire string using pointers, and I am going to read the starting character and ending character, and I have to print the characters that are present within the start and the end characters, right? So suppose if we have like this, right? So welcome to pointers. This is going to be my input string, right? Then start character, let us have it as E. The end character you have it as I. Then it should print what? EM till this. That means ELCOM to PO. Is that clear? So this is my program actually. So I will give the start and the end character, and it should print the characters that are present in the starting and the ending character, right? Suppose whatever the character you have specified, the start character, whatever if suppose if I specify my start character is equal to Q. Q is not present here. So it will display that the character you have entered is not present in the given string, right? Suppose I have specified my start character equal to E, and if I specify my end character is equal to Q, Q is not actually present here. So what it will do is, it will start from this first E and it will print the entire string, because Q is not available anywhere. So till it reaches the null character, it will print the entire string. Is that clear? Right. Now we'll move on to the program. Int main. Right, since it is a character array, I need to get the string. So we need a character array, char str of 30. I'm going to have a pointer to a character array. So I have char star p. Now I need to read my start character and end character. So I have character char s comma e. I need a flag here. Why I need a flag here? Because whenever the start character is not present in the given string, then I should display the error message that it is not present. So for that I need a variable to check whether it is available or not. So we are having a variable called flag. Int flag equal to 0. Right? So here I am assigning the string character array to the pointer p, because in our question it is nothing but write a program to accept a string using pointers. So with the pointer only we are going to read character by character. So here P equal to str. I am assigning the base address, starting address to my pointer P. And then I am starting reading the character. So this character, whatever the character I read, that will be stored in this particular location P. Right? Now star P, whatever the character I have read, that can be accessed with the help of star. So star P refers to the value whatever I have read, and I am checking whether it is not equal to new line. If it is not equal to new line, then what I am going to do is I am going to increment the pointer value and I am going to read the next character. And I am going to continue this till I get a new line. That means till I finish off that particular line, I am going to read all the characters, including the spaces. Right? Now after reading everything, now here printf enter the starting and ending character. So I should read the starting and ending character here. So scanf %C %C. So I am going to read the start character and end character. So again I am making the pointer to point to the beginning of the string. And I am going to check whether star P is not equal to null. So null is used to represent the end of the array. Right? So here you add one more statement. Star P is equal to null. Because once you read a new line character, you will come out. In that particular location, I can store the null value. Right? So till I reach my null. Okay. So till I reach my null, I have to go for checking whether my start character is present in the pointer location. So each and every character I will check. So first time I will check W. W is equal to my start character E. No. If it is not equal, what I am going to do? I am going to increment my pointer value. Right? So next character is going to be my not equal to null, because E is not equal to null. So I will come here. Star P. So star P refers to E. E is equal to E. The condition is satisfied. Then I will come here. Right? So flag equal to 1. Right? So why? Because I have identified my starting character. Right? I have identified my starting character. So now I have to print all the characters that is present between the starting character and my end character. Right? So while star P not equal to L, E. That means till my pointer value is not equal to E, I have to print my characters. So printf %C star P. Print all the characters that is been between my S and E. S is nothing but starting character and E is going to be ending character. So P++. Move on to the next character. When it becomes E, right, when it equals to the end character, then I will come out of this while loop. I will break. Why I have to break? Because I need not again go to my main while loop. Why? Because I have printed all the characters that is present within the start and the end character. I need not once again go to my while loop. Is that clear? So I will break from the entire loop. And then I will check if flag equal to 0. If flag equal to 0, it means the starting character whatever you have entered is not present in the string. Yes or no? So if starting character whatever you have entered, if it is present in the given string, then you will make flag equal to 1 and then you will start printing the characters. Suppose if it is not equal at all, in that case you will never make flag equal to 1. Flag is only 0. So when flag is equal to 0, then whatever the character you have entered is not at all present in the given string. Is that clear? So what we have done here, we have read character by character using the pointer. So just we have assigned the base address to the pointer and we are reading the character, and then if the character is not equal to null, so till it equals to null, I'm keep on reading the characters into that particular memory location. Once I have completed the reading, at the end I am storing the null character, and then I am reading the starting and the ending character, and once again I am making the pointer to point to the beginning of the array, and I am checking whether the element is not equal to null. So till it becomes the null, till it reaches the end of the null, I am checking whether my character is equal to the start character. If the character equals to the start character, make my flag equal to 1 and print all the characters till I reach my end character, right? If the character not equal to the start character, then move to the next character. Suppose if I've reached my end of the string, still I am not able to find my start character, then your flag value will be equal to 0 and you can print an error message, right? The next one is going to be till now we have seen array and pointers, and similarly string and the pointer, right? Next we'll move on to the pointer arithmetic, right? So what is this pointer arithmetic? That means what are all the operations I can do it with the pointer, right? So the following are the only valid operations on the pointers. So what are all the operations I can do it with the pointers? Now assignment of pointers to the same type of pointers, right? If I write P1 equal to P2, both P1 and P2 should be of same type, right? And no integer constant except 0 can be assigned to a pointer. So I cannot write P1 equal to 5, but I can write star P1 equal to 5, right? But I cannot directly write P1 equal to 5, P1 equal to 10. That I cannot do it. Similarly, adding or subtracting a pointer and an integer. I can add or subtract a pointer to an integer, but even then it should be within the array limits, right? Now, similarly, subtracting or comparing the two pointers that point to the same elements of an array. Similarly, I can increment or decrement the pointer such that it points to the same elements of an array. Now I should not do the following operations. Now what I should not do? Addition of two pointers, I should not do it. Similarly, multiplying the pointer with an integer is not advisable. Dividing a pointer with a number, that also you should not do it. Is that clear? So what are all the operations I can do? I can assign the pointer of one type to the same type. I can do it. I can assign 0 to a pointer, but I cannot assign any other number to a pointer. Similarly, I can increment the pointer, I can decrement the pointer, I can add some integer to a pointer, I can subtract some integer from the pointer, but in all these cases, it should be within the array limits. Is that clear? And what I should not do? Addition of two pointers, multiplication of a pointer with an integer, division of a pointer with a number. These are all the things I should not do it with a pointer. So pointer arithmetic means what are all the operations I can do it with a pointer, right? Now we'll see the assignment, right? So I told you can do the assignment operation, but what type of assignment operation I can do? We told you assignment means it should be of same type, right? But there are some cases where the void pointer can be assigned, right? So we'll see one program here. What are all the possible options you have? The left hand operand is a pointer and the right hand operand is a null pointer, right? And one operand is a pointer of incompatible type and the other is a pointer to void. So both the operands are of compatible types. We'll see the example now so that you can understand. Int main, right? So int I is equal to 5. I have one integer value. Then I have two pointers, int star ip1 star ip2. These ip1 and ip2 are nothing but an pointer to an integer, right? Similarly, I have one more type called void star VP. Void means it is not going to be of particular type, right? If you want to use this pointer, then you have to typecast it, and then only you can use this pointer, right? Now here when you see ampersand I is being given to IP1. So address of I is an integer variable that I can give it to pointer. But if I have a float variable here, that should not be assigned to IP1, right? Now IP2 equal to IP1. The address of the first pointer is being given to second pointer. This is advisable. Why? Because both IP2 and IP1 of same type. That is what your third point. Now, the next one, VP equal to IP1. So what is my IP1? It is an integer pointer, but here it is going to be a void pointer. That is also possible. When I have in my left hand side, I can have a void one, and in the right hand side I can have an of compactable type. Then whenever I want to use this void pointer, I have to do the typecasting. Is that clear? Now after typecasting, this void pointer can be assigned again back to an integer pointer. But without typecasting, if you assign void pointer to integer pointer 1, then it will give you an error message. Is that clear? I can also use void pointer, but if I use my void pointer, I have to typecast it. After typecasting, I can assign it to a pointer of that particular type. Is that clear? So these are the three cases you have. Both the pointers of compactable type, or in left hand side I can have an integer pointer compactable type, and here it is going to be incompactable, that is a void type. This I can do it, but before that I have to do the typecasting, right? And this is also another type. Here I have an incompactable type. Here I have a compactable type. This integer pointer I can assign it to a void pointer, right? This is with respect to the assignment. I can assign one pointer to another pointer, right? The next one is addition or subtraction with integers. We have already seen I can do addition or subtraction with integers, but it should be of within an array limits, right? So we have already seen this, but anyway, to be more familiar, to explain one more concepts, I have taken this example, right? So int main, int a of 5, it is going to be an integer array. Int I, sum is equal to 0. Here I have calculated the sum of array elements. Int star p, and here address of the array is given to the pointer. Now here I am calculating the sum of the array element. So sum is equal to sum plus star p. I already told you star p refers to the element where the pointer is now pointing to. Pointer is now pointing to the beginning location. So star p refers to the value 10. So sum is equal to 0. 0 plus 10. That will be stored in 10. P++ means it automatically moves 4 bytes. It moves to the next element present in an array. So 12. So 10 plus 12 will be added, and that will be stored in sum. Like this I will be calculating the sum of the array elements. Is that clear? Now P++ is nothing but the increment operation. We are doing it on the pointers, right? That I can do it. Why? Because it is within an array limit, right? Now I can also do some arithmetic operations like this, right? P is equal to a plus 4. We'll see that in next program. Now hash include stdio.h int main. Here I have declared an integer array. Do you remember? Here I have not specified the size of the array, but this is also acceptable. But the size will be automatically taken as what? 5, because I have declared only 5 elements here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Here int I, comma star p, I have declared a pointer. And here the pointer is now pointing not to the beginning of the array. If I write p equal to a, it points to the beginning of the array. But here I am writing it as what? P equal to a plus 4. And already I told you, whenever you write 4, suppose we'll move here. My starting address is going to be 65004. This is going to be my address, right? If I write A plus 4, it is not that I will be moving on to 65008. Is that clear? So adding 4 means it is nothing but 4 into 2. Here I have taken my integer value size of int to be 2. So here whenever you add like this will be returned like this. How? 4 into 2 is going to be the size of int. Right? So now the pointer is now pointing to the last location 65012. Right? Now I am using the for loop. For I is equal to 4 because I have moved on to the last location. We'll see what for we have used I is equal to 4. I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. So I am starting in the reverse order. Now printf percentage %d. What value I am going to print it here? P of minus I. So P of minus I means my I value is 4. So P of minus 4. P of minus 4 is nothing but, right? So when I is equal to 4, P of minus 4. So minus 4 means it will not just minus 4. So 4 into 2 is going to be 8. So 65012 minus 8. So what is value it going to print? So it is going to have the address 65004. So it automatically moves to the first location. Is that clear? So it prints the first element. When I equal to 3, again my pointer value is going to be what? Here I have not changed my pointer value. I have not written P is equal to P minus I. This refers to my pointer value is going to be the same, right? So here it is fixed. 65012 means it is 65012. In that I am accessing the element. So how to access the element? With the help of the index. So P of minus 4. So it points to the first location. Right? Still my pointer value P value is 65012 minus my I value is 3. 3 into 2 is going to be 6. So 12 minus 6 is 6. So it accesses my second location. Similarly, you can print all the values. Right? So P of minus I is equivalent to star of P minus I. Right? So here always I refers to what? P minus I into size of int. It is what given here. If I want to print it in the reverse order, I have printed in from the beginning till the end. If you want to print it in the reverse order, then you can use same P of minus I. But here